And welcome back to the Weird and Proud podcast. It's Sam. And oh,
James.
wow. Came in strong. Came in strong. James, literally, now we can really say, like, long time no see.
We were apart for like a whole day.
We were apart
That's
for like
weird.
12
It
hours.
was weird.
James and I did spend the night apart last night.
It's weird.
Yeah. We took some time apart. No, I was visiting a friend from college, one of my college besties, who's pregger. She's expecting, and not a normal expecting, not an expecting a panic attack or expecting the worst. Well, it is kind of the worst or the best. Depends the way that you look at it.
I'm just letting
Can you tell
go.
I'm spiraling?
I'm just gonna let you go on this one.
Like, it's obviously I've had some friends that have gotten pregnant and are settled down and like living normal lives and and it's been okay. But like I feel like my college bestie, like this was like my roommate, like pretty much all 4 years. Like this girl was literally blacked out in an alleyway like 2 days ago, I feel like, in my mind, and now there's a literal human fetus baby growing inside of her.
To give you, I know Jilly Bean just from you, and of course I adore Jilly Bean, and she's gonna be an amazing mom.
Yes,
because
she is.
yes,
Well, also she didn't
because-
really want to announce that she was pregnant, so way to drop her name.
Can you edit that out?
Yeah.
Whoops.
Well, this is the other thing too that's always like, really nice to a degree. Like when I get to hang out with some of like my college friends, is like their lives don't revolve around social media. And like they don't have to announce
They
every
don't.
single thing that they do.
People's lives don't revolve around social media.
And like they can keep things a secret. Like they don't have to tell every single person every move that they make. I'm like, wait, you haven't announced that yet? Like, I guess I just never really noticed. And I'm like, because I did like make a story and I'm like, oh, I'm going to see my friend. She's pregnant and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, girl, I haven't even announced it yet on my page. You announced it before I did. I was like, oh shit, sorry, I took that down. But yeah, it's always nice,
Well, to that unnamed person, she's the best.
Yes,
I
she
really
is.
do
I know, I'm
adore
just
her.
fucking around.
And yes.
But it's gonna be nice to have
I want to go meet the little baby.
the baby. And she also is one of those people where she's doesn't know the gender and she's not doing a gender reveal, and she's waiting like up until until she gives birth, and she's like not making a big deal out of it. I'm like, wow, what is it like to not need attention all the time?
I would love to plan and execute her gender reveal. Can I put my name in the hat for that?
No, she doesn't want a gender reveal. She
I'm gonna
wants to
text
just
her
find
right now.
out.
I'm doing one. I don't care.
We'll just do it just for us.
We'll
She
just
doesn't
do
even
it
have
for
to
her.
know.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll post it.
Yeah. But anyway, so I was in Boston seeing my friend that will not be named, and yes, we did a little baby shower, got to see some other friends from college, which just always good to see people, even though it's just a reminder that it's been literally over 10 years since graduating college, which is terrifying. And I won't even vent to you, James, the oldie. How long has it been for you, James?
Over 20.
Damn.
Yeah.
I feel be old.
I graduated college over 20 years ago.
Wow. Community college?
Yep, exactly.
Just kidding. Not that there's anything wrong with community college. You didn't go to community college, though.
No.
You went to a step up, a state school.
Nope.
What was it?
Private school.
Oh, it was private. Yeah. Oh, I forgot. It was like a state of something.
It wasn't a state. True.
It
was
in
in the state of Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it was Minnesota.
Yep.
Got it. How was your weekend, James? What did you do while I was away?
So,
did you go wild? Did you go to the strip club?
No strip clubs.
Damn.
But I did go to a business and personal development conference, which was fun.
Whoa, you're crazy.
But then I did have drinks afterwards. So.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
James.
we went to and got to go see ventriloquist Terry Fator.
This is James' idea of a fun night out when I'm away.
It was kind of
Going
cool.
to a networking conference
Yeah,
and then a ventriloquist
I went to a
concert.
6-hour networking conference. That was my idea of a good
And then he
time.
went
Sam's
to a
gone.
ventriloquist.
Let's go crazy networking conference.
How was the ventriloquist?
He was really good. He was.
So, like, what does a ventriloquist do? Like, he's just making jokes?
So most people know Jeff Dunham. As
yes.
He is
I don't know who that is. I do know.
He even made fun of
like
the fact
a comedy
that he's not
ventriloquist.
Jeff Dunham.
Yes. Yeah.
He does comedy ventriloquism.
What's this guy's name?
However, Terry Fator.
Okay.
And it was very interesting because look him up. He was very good. He won American Idol. America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
He won America's Got Talent. His story was amazing. He actually spoke at the conference I was at too. That's why I kind of wanted to go see the show.
Oh, got it.
He was one of the closing speakers. And the conference I went to, I'm going to shout it out. It's called Warm Heart Life. It's by a guy, Brendan, here in Connecticut. Look it up. He's actually
Warm Heart Life.
He's a really very good guy, inspiring guy. You know, he's kind of an up and comer in the public speaking and inspirational world, and I've really enjoyed his stuff. So went to his conference. He's the one that hosted it. And then Terry Fator, everyone that went to the conference did get a ticket for the show after.
Yeah.
But Terry also spoke at the conference. His story was amazing because he wanted to be a performer, much like you, from the time he was like 10 years old.
Yeah.
And his parents owned a janitorial company. And they had him working.
Yeah.
And he's like, he told a story at the conference. He said, how you claimed 10,000 hours of work. It was in one of Malcolm Gladwell's books. 10,000 hours is how you become a master or something. He said he recorded well over like 500,000 hours because he started doing ventriloquist and voice work when he was 10 years old. And he's actually a professionally trained singer. So he can actually sing without moving his lips at all.
That stuff is crazy.
And he does impersonations on stage. So he has like an Elvis doll and he does an Elvis impersonation. And it takes it a step further. And he's a guy. The doll is actually an Elvis impersonator. It's not the doll is Elvis.
Right.
He plays the character of an Elvis impersonator.
Interesting.
He sang a song with the Elvis impersonator and a Frank Sinatra impersonator, and somehow he got his voice to do both voices. It was very interesting.
Yeah, that is like a level of skill and talent that is so unique.
And I thought about you and all the listeners on this podcast because I did want to tell this story. He was ending his speech at the conference, and they were going to almost cut him off because it was like we were way over time already. And he goes, wait, let me say this last part. And here's what he said. We already knew he had after he won America's Got Talent, his dream was to have a Vegas regular show.
Yeah.
He got $100 million contract to play in Vegas. So he lived his dream. He said none of his happiness came from the money. It came from the time he was 10 years old. And before he was on even America's Got Talent, he was doing elementary schools and touring state fairs.
Like the process of it, the journey.
He said he had one person show up to a show one time, and he gave the same energy and effort for that show as he did for every Vegas show. And that's what he told everyone at the conference.
How old is this guy?
He's in his 50s.
Yeah.
Yep. And he won America's Got Talent at 42.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And that was in 2007, I think it was, he said he won. And he said, find the thing that you're happy at and just do that for 10,000 hours and then figure out how to make money at it. Like that was his deal.
Wow. Inspiration for us all.
So that's for all of our listeners out there. Find your weird and the things you love and keep doing it.
Look at that. Wow, James.
Yeah, that's what I did this week. Then got drunk.
And then he got wasted. Did you do anything crazy?
Nothing crazy.
Did you just go out to the club?
The club.
The club.
Went and saw our buddy Mike at Bradford. Everybody went to Bradford's.
Yeah, that's like a bar down Stanford. Were all the kids out running amok?
There was a lot of kids out.
So obviously we live in Stamford, Connecticut, and there is a branch of UConn. There's a UConn Stanford. So there are a lot of like the chill giants.
The conference
the
was
riff-raffs.
at UConn Stanford.
Oh,
it was at that. It was right in that
You
building
said that.
downtown. Yeah.
Wow.
I'd never been in there. Beautiful building.
Well, I'm glad you had a nice little day.
Little inspirational day. It was
cool. Inspirational day. Well, I got to see some college friends. Did you miss me?
Of course. I texted you. I miss your face at like 11:30.
Yeah, you did. I know. I was in bed already.
Yeah.
I know. I feel like my friend who's like literally who's 7 months pregnant now, like I was as tired as she was. I was exhausted. Like we both went to bed. She was like, she goes to bed at like 9 and wakes up at like 7, 8. And I was like, I don't know what, I don't even know if I could be like, how much more tired could I be?
Yeah.
I don't know how these people do it. Anyways, I'm glad you had a nice night, James. We have a great story. We have a great show and stories and shows. We have little catch up on some shows. People love the TV show recommendations that we give, and I feel like it's always a goal too for me to find a show that like both James and I are gonna enjoy, because either like I want to watch like the Love is Blind stuff, which you'll watch, but
I'll sit in those. I'll watch whatever with you, and I'll make my little stupid comments. But
you're not really watching it.
You read me well. I'm not into those shows,
right?
But I'll watch them with you.
Yeah, like all at the Vanderpump. James, is not really super engaged, and it's hard to find a show. I mean, I know you like.
I like the business side of Vanderpump. I can listen to them.
A lot of
but they are. There's some smart business. Messages behind the scenes of the drama.
Sure. But recently I did want to give you guys a show recommendation that I feel like a lot of people have found out about or heard about it, but it's not something I normally would have been like, oh yeah, that plot sounds really good. But on Netflix, there's a show called Night Agent. And I have to say, it is probably one of the best Netflix shows, like shows with an actual plot, that I've seen in a while. What would you say?
That was, full disclosure, that was going to be one of my quote unquote guy shows that I watched while you were gone this weekend. I was going to watch it anyway. And I'm so glad you suggested it.
Yeah.
For guys, it's definitely got that like Bourne supremacy feel, where it's like the secret agent guy. I love those kinds of shows and movies. I'm a sucker for those. I love them. And love the secret agent stuff.
Yes.
And I was ready to watch it. I'm so glad you wanted to. I'll agree. For me, it was the writing. I loved
great writing.
The plot twist, the storyline made such sense, and they left everything so open to interpretation that it was like a mystery within a secret agent show.
And they're hopefully, from what I've heard, there will be a second season. And even like the actors, and apparently I'd heard this rumor that like the guy who's like the main actor, who was amazing, I thought
he did a very good job.
I forget what his name is in real life, but
no idea.
He like apparently like didn't really have, like, he was like this jock growing up, and like I think he was in the army, and like no one really thought he was going to be an actor, and no one took him seriously, and this is like his first like really big part, and he was amazing. And him and the woman who, Rose is her name in the show.
Oh boy, I already forgot.
I know it's so bad, but she was amazing too. The actors are amazing, and the plot is so good. And it is like a secret service, like government, like something spooky's going on.
If you like, and it was a government against the government. So if you're into that conspiracy theory stuff, I feel it touched on mystery, secret agent stuff, conspiracy theory,
and
like
some good action. A lot of good action. I always love, and I was kind of like talking about how this is something that annoys me recently, is like when a show like hooks you from the get-go. Like that was one of those shows where like within the first like 5-10 minutes, you're like, oh shit, like I'm into this. Where like some of the shows nowadays, which is fine, but like I keep giving an example of like Succession. Everyone keeps telling me, you love Succession. Succession's so good. It's one of the best written shows of all time. And I'm like, I feel like I almost am done with the first season, but it is so slow. And everyone's like, well, you got to just get further through the first season. You got to get, like, once you get to the second season, it's good. And it's like, I don't have time to watch an entire first season and then, like,
into the show.
Right. Watch 10 hours worth of a show just for it to, like, finally start to get good. And I don't know, maybe it's I don't know. I'm just not watching it with the right mindset. But that's one show I just cannot get into that I feel like everyone is obsessed with.
Maybe the show isn't playing to the audience, aka all of us who have zero attention spans.
Well,
you got to hook people early these days.
Well, there are people out there who are like obsessed with Succession.
I agree with you. You had me kind of watch an episode with you.
Yeah.
I'm the type, I'll usually know within the first 15 minutes if I'm really going to like something. I never got hooked on it. I haven't yet. I'm sure I could. I like, again, it's got some business underlying stuff. I like the big media angle. It's kind of cool, but it didn't hook me.
No, it didn't hook me.
Night Agent definitely hooked me better than Succession.
And, I will say too, it's like the characters are like kind of unlovable in that show. Like, I feel like I need like a connection to a character, Why are you laughing?
I don't know.
Well, it is. It's like, like Night Agent. Like, I feel like I keep bringing it back, but like you want, you're like rooting.
He plays the nice guy agent real well.
Right.
Yep.
You're rooting for them. And it's like, I'm not rooting for anyone in Succession. Like, they could all burn in hell. Like, like if you're all against each other, it's like, who cares?
I see you there. Yeah.
You know what I mean, James? All right. So Night Agent, you guys need to watch. If there are any other shows, I was trying to think if like there's anything recently, like someone was like, you should give your list. And I know that I've given my list before to
Ted Lasso.
Okay. I was going to ask you if you feel like this season is not great.
I think it's
Ted Lasso. You do?
What did you hear?
I've heard that it stinks.
Really?
Yeah. And like it lost its, its magic.
Where did you, because you didn't get into Ted Lasso as much.
Well, I liked the first season. And then the second season, I don't know where it just kind of lost me, like.
I'll give it. It is you know what? Maybe it's the same as a Succession thing. It can seem to move a little slow.
Yeah.
But I'm hooked on, like you said, I'm hooked on the characters.
Yeah, I know.
And it's the sports coaching side. I really enjoy that angle.
Yeah.
And you've also accused me of being very Ted Lasso-like.
You are Ted Lasso-like.
And I like that side. And his speech that he gave in the episode today got me pretty fired
inspiring.
up. Yeah. It was a very inspiring speech.
Yeah, I just heard that this season a lot of people are not into it. It's just not very good.
It's hilarious to me because I've told you the new character that they brought in this as a footballer.
Yeah.
I swear to God, they mimicked the character off of Aaron Rodgers from the Packers. So it's hilarious.
Oh, that's right.
I think I told you that story.
Yeah.
And I swear, I've even texted my Packer friends. I'm like, "Are you watching Ted Lasso?" And one of them's like, "I go, have you ever noticed that this character Zava is Aaron Rodgers?" He goes, "Oh my God, I didn't think about that, but you're so right. It's true."
Wow. That's groundbreaking.
Yeah, I broke it here. Newsworthy story.
The ground has been broken.
The ground has been broken. I broke a pregnancy here, and
I know, James.
Lots of updates,
James. Also, something that's happening in the social media world is Coachella is this weekend,
and that is.
I was going to ask you, what are your thoughts on Coachella?
I'm guessing it's a fashion thing.
Kinda. You really have no idea what Coachella is?
I've heard of it.
James, this is why I also love James. Like, I talk about how I love being around people.
It's
like,
a conference.
Sometimes who don't know what it's a conference.
Right?
It's a networking conference.
Is it a networking conference? Why am I not there? Why didn't I get invited?
James literally knows nothing. Do you know who Alex Earl is?
Broadcaster for the Milwaukee Brewers?
Is she really?
No, there is a broadcaster, Alex, with a very similar name to that for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Like James is just it's just so nice that you have no idea what that is. So it's a music festival.
Oh.
In like Palm Springs, and it's a big influencer thing. Like a lot of these brands like hold like their own special little
Why is it
side
called
events.
Coachella?
I don't know. That's a good question. It's just always been called that. There's another one called Stagecoach, which is like a country music version of Coachella.
Nope, don't know what that is.
It was so funny. I love that you're. I love you, James. I love that you know nothing about that.
I thought it was something from. I don't know. I thought it was a fashion thing.
Coach. The brand Coach is
I don't
putting
know.
on a. Do you know the brand Coach?
The purses?
Yeah. It's a brand.
There's
don't just
purses,
do purses,
right?
They don't just do purses.
Oh.
What's your favorite brand?
It's the C one.
What's your
right?
favorite brand?
Science Dog.
Show them your socks.
I got Science Dog on.
Show them your socks.
The original, the OG podcasters will know Science Dog.
Once those have a hole in them, like, what are we gonna do?
Do what we always do. Continue to wear them as if they don't have a hole.
I want to be honest with you. I threw away some of your socks.
I was wondering where all my damn socks went. I noticed it. I'm like, where are my socks? I noticed that. I was going to ask you, what else did you throw out? Quit throwing my socks away.
James, some of them, there was more holes than there was fabric left in the sock.
That's not possible. Fabric is a thing. A hole is nothing. You can't have more of nothing. Now we need to talk about antimatter because it is true there's more non-matter in the universe than there is matter.
It is enough. They're in the garbage somewhere if you want to go pull them out, but they cannot be saved.
Do not throw out my Science Dog socks.
No, I never. All right, listen, we have so many good secrets and we have a lot to catch up on, so I wanted to save a big chunk of time to do a bunch of the secrets that you guys send in. So before we get into that, a couple quick things. I will be in New York City this week performing at Moxie. 420, baby. Turn up, get turned. It's like in like a hotel. So, we'll meet outside after, toke up, toke, and get ready to giggle. There's a showcase. So there's a couple other comedians that will be there. So 420, I think it's at 7 p.m. New York City. And then I'm going to be in Maine. We have 2 shows in Maine at the Blue Theater. And that is May 21st, Sunday, May 21st. There's 2 shows at 7 and 9. And then we're going to be in Austin, Texas, June 4th. And then that's it for right now that's been announced, but I have a couple other things I'm working on. But those are the big ones. All tickets are available SamanthaRamsdell.com/events. So events with an S. SamanthaRamsdell.com/events. Events. I want to go to events. Do you know that? It's TikTok sounds. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know, James.
Is that? Do they play that at Coachella?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm going to start now thinking Coachella does everything.
Well, I was thinking that it would have been fun if I was home this weekend to do like a coach, everyone who's like not at Coachella makes fun of the fact that they're not at Coachella, then it's like a thing. Like if you're not invited, if you're too old, like me, you make fun of it. And I was like, oh, it would have been fun to like make you an outfit because people like dress up like literal, like it's basically bathing suits, like the shorts, like the leather shorts, those ones that I had put on and done a try on. Like they wear just insane outfits, like cowboy hats, literal like pasties, and like the shorts, the jean shorts that
Skin to win, basically.
Skin to win,
Got
baby.
It.
And just like insane outfits. And I was gonna make you one. Honestly, we should put those shorts on you. Do you think they fit? So someone's like, you got to get James to try some of these on.
I want my socks back.
In what world? Yeah. But without further ado, let's get to some good secrets. We've got a bunch. As a reminder, you can call in and leave us your own secret at Speak Pipe. And that is Speak Pipe, SPEAKPIPE.com/weird-and-proud-pod. Weird and Proud Pod, all one word. And I'll have it in the description too if you just want to click on it. But you can leave us an anonymous voicemail up to 1 minute and 30 seconds. And we love them and we giggle and we laugh. And
I thought of a name for this episode.
Oh God, what?
Can the night agent find James's socks at Coachella?
Yeah, everyone will know exactly what that
That's
means.
The name of the episode.
Yeah, that's
a tag. That's a good line right there.
Yeah, that's an eye grabber. Who wouldn't want to listen to that?
That's the name. I like naming episodes.
Do you?
Yeah, I think it's very. Have you ever seen how other shows name their episodes?
I think that's under a rock.
One of my favorites is how The Simpsons name their episodes.
Interesting.
Or How I Met Your Mother always had interesting names too.
That's great. Thank you so much.
I want my socks back.
Okay. Are you ready, James, for our first secret?
My feet are cold.
Okay, well, shut up.
So last summer, I was at this swimming spot with my boyfriend and like 10 of his friends. They were all guys and our dog. And we were in the middle of the woods, and I was like going to shit my pants, and I was panicking. Like the woods we were in, it wasn't like I could hide anywhere really. So I just like swam off of the dock we were all chilling on, like a little bit far away from them. And I was like pretending that I was like swimming and playing with my dog, but she knew exactly what I was doing and got out of the water and was just giving me a dirty look. And I had like diarrhea in the water, and I had to like slosh it around and like just like make it go away and make it look like I was just, going for a dip. And I swore I was never going to tell anybody, but I tell everyone because I feel like something you're embarrassed about doesn't hold power over you if you can tell people about it, right? So I tell everyone, and I think my boyfriend's more embarrassed than I am, but I don't really care.
Who cares? You shit in a river and you were free.
That's a great story.
That is a great story. We've gotten some great voicemails about, where people have shit, and that's the first one, shitting in a river.
Smart
diarrhea.
Way to do, river, water's moving, right?
The water's
going to sweep it away.
Even though I think I would have killed you if I was anywhere near you in that river.
Just be downstream. Just be upstream.
Yeah, if I was downstream,
just
to
be
your
upstream.
poopy stream.
Yep.
But listen, you gotta go where you gotta go. Where are people expecting? Like when Mother Nature calls, it's like, what do you want me to do?
Especially if there's a diarrhea situation.
Especially if
you got less control over that.
But hopefully your dog didn't eat it.
Again, the river would be a huge advantage for that.
The river, take me down to the river.
Is that a Coachella song?
Basically. Thank you so much. We love your poopy stories. And listen, yeah, tell the story. All great stand-ups and even a lot of the stories I tell are the most embarrassing things that have ever happened to me. And now you can laugh at them. Yeah, you can take your power back. So tell that weird ass story. And it's relatable. Everyone's got a weird ass story, and that's why we love to share them. All right, James, are you ready for this one? This one's a short one.
Ready.
Okay.
I babysat for this mom recently, and she told me that she likes the smell of her kids' poop in their diaper.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
Now I'm just picturing this mom going all in, when you want to smell a glass of wine and you have to shove your nose all the way in there.
Yeah.
Now I'm picturing a mom just
Well, here's the thing: is when it is something of yours and something you love. I'll be honest, I love my cats, the cat's breath, the smell of their breath. And we love Prue's stinky feet.
I love boo-boos, the little stinky boo-boos. That's why when you give her baths, I don't like it. No baths for boo-boos.
But so I can see if it's your own child, not loving it, but not being totally grossed out as you would another kid's or some other random person.
I can see that. Yeah.
I know I'd asked you this, but who does, everyone never gets grossed out over the smell of your own fart. But if I was in a room,
I've had some pretty bad ones before.
You've gagged over your own farts?
I've had some bad ones in my life.
No, James.
Depends,
that bad?
It depends, yeah.
What was the worst situation you've ever had?
I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Is there something specifically you ate that really set you off?
No, I can't think of anything specific.
I've never gagged over myself. It's really been that bad? That's terrifying.
I can lay some good ones.
Oh, my God. Oh, James. We love ya. All right. Are you ready for the next voice?
I wonder why the mom chose to share that with the babysitter.
I know that also is random. Just been hey, just so you know, I fucking love this shit.
Was she smelling the diaper when she shared?
Yeah, she walked in and was like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Nothing, just getting high at my baby's aroma."
Yeah, exactly.
No, we love that. We and I also sometimes we love the long stories, but you know what? Sometimes you just got to send in an 8-second one and get right in there. And we appreciate you. Thank you for calling in. All right, James, are you ready for the next one?
Hello, Sam and James. I've been listening for a while and following on Instagram. And this is my childhood things that people told us that were definitely not true. My older sister told me that if I took my goggles off underwater, then my head would explode. And I was so sure about this for so long, and I believed her. I was so scared that they would like come off underwater. And one day I remember really pumping myself up to take them off, and of course nothing happened. Another thing that she told me was that my grandpa, his name was Grandpa Green, he died before I was born. She told me that he glowed green, his ghost glowed green and haunted my closet and watched me sleep because he was sad he never got to meet me in life. So those are just the few things that she told me while I was growing up. She really got a kick out of that. So thanks. Love you guys.
That is hilarious. I always love these stories because they just crack me up. And they remind me of ones too. Like I talk about this in my stand up and my live show, but how much I used to lie to other kids as a kid.
True.
And I used to tell people like the devil lived in my basement and aliens have landed in my backyard. Because my mom used to like try and set me up with a lot of kids. So like I would have more friends and she would like invite these losers over my house. And you know, like most of the time I wouldn't have any say, and my mom would be like, "Yeah, you should sleep over," and like would invite these people to sleep over. So I would be like, "All right, I gotta figure out a way to get them out of here," and would like make up these insane stories. So relatable. Do you remember your face falling off if you took your goggles off?
Never heard that one, but I loved that one more so because I am the older sibling. That was some classic good scare the younger sibling stuff right there.
Yes.
That was some good torturous.
My
brothers
I
can respect that.
Definitely used to do some crazy shit to me. I remember you weren't like the goggles thing. I just remember too, like my parents or like my older brothers would purposely put water in the goggles and then put it on you because they were like, if you can get the water out underwater, like you can survive anything. Like that's like the word. Have you ever tried to do that? It's
Never
so
heard of
hard.
that either. That sounds crazy.
It is literally, you know, when you feel like when you look back and like all the crazy shit like you were told as kids and like all the things that my brothers made me do, it was crazy.
That's hilarious. That was a funny call.
An amazing voicemail. Thank you so much for calling.
I would love to know what age she finally figured that out. Like that was a good call. Maybe call back and let us know. How old were you when you finally did try it? Because you said it went on.
She did. Well, I know. I think she was saying she was still a kid, but yeah. Any follow-ups to any of the calls, please feel free to call in if you have a follow-up to any of the secrets that you've called in on before. All right, James, are you ready for the last voicemail?
Okay, so I was in Italy and backpacking when I was 22, and one day I got an Instagram message from a random account of this Italian guy messaging me. He said, "I can tell you like big cocks and that you're a big slut." And my Instagram is completely normal. Like I don't post any scandalous photos or anything like that. So it was completely out of the blue. We got to talking and he told me he was a professor at the University of Rome. And he told me, if you come and travel to my city, the next town over, I'll give you 500 euros to have sex with me for 3 hours. And I did. I said, I'll do it if you give me 700 euros instead. And he said, okay, deal. So I went over to the next town and I prostituted myself for 3 hours. And at the time I was like, this isn't prostitution. No, this is different. But yeah, it honestly felt really good. And that was a lot of money at the time. Yeah, and that's my story. Okay, bye. I love you.
Oh my God. That wins whatever award I can give. Oh my God.
Talk about sharing a secret.
Holy shit. That's up there. That is up there. I need to know more. So like you just went over there and like you literally you just had sex and then you just left. He just gave you 700 euros and like nothing weird happened. I mean, obviously you're like alive to tell the story. I feel like you would have said something if something weird happened, but like you just don't hear about people making it out of those kind of stories alive for a random person on Instagram.
I'm sure it happens more often. And I love that she's like, no, this isn't prostitution.
This isn't.
It's funding a vacation, so good for you.
Was he like loaded? Like, was the house like nice? I am dead. That is an amazing story. I mean, especially like I think I could. Did she say she was studying abroad over there? Is that why she was
22 and backpacking?
22 and backpacking. So I did some sketchy shit too when I was in Florence. Like there were some times when it was like, how did we get, like, you look back and it was just a different time. You know, like me and my friends would go to like, these older Italian guys had like invited us over to their place for dinner and drinks. And we were like, okay. And we were like 20, you know, and it's like, you didn't have cell phones back then.
Nope.
Like, or like we had cell phones, but like they don't have internet on them. They're like, you know, didn't make international calls.
It's like Nokia, just
like
phones.
These little Nokia phones.
No texting.
No one you can't track anyone.
Nope.
You know, and like we would go to these places. I'm like, how the hell did we not die? You know, like there are some chances like that. So it is like wild, but that is an amazing story.
Great share.
Have you ever done anything where you're like, I should have died? I mean, men are different, though. I feel
it's true. I think I do. I agree.
Because it's not like, you know, if a woman was like, hey, come over, there's not like a real risk of something like really. I mean, unless this woman was real crazy and could overpower you. But it's like, you really don't have any risk if like if someone's inviting you over. You know, we're like with a female, you never know.
Yeah. You know, there's thrill to risk. And, you know, I watch a lot of these. Everyone's looking for thrill and risk. And a lot of the shows we watch, weirdly enough, are around a lot of shows, especially, now this might sound political. It probably is a little bit. Since the Me Too movement in a very good way, there's a lot more woman empowerment, right?
Yes.
But so many of those shows are about taking unnecessary risks. Now, this is just TV. It's not real life. But that is kind of showing what the culture is, right? They're looking for that thrill in a way, which gives a little risk. So also, women might take a little risk because they get a little bigger rush from it.
Right.
Than guys
There's more of a thrill for it.
Yeah. It's different. It is different for guys, definitely.
Yeah.
Especially even just like walking down the street at night versus, right?
Yeah.
There is a difference.
Yeah, it is crazy just to think back on like, Italy is wild too. Europe is like,
I wonder if this guy has done that with other backpacking
well, that's
American
what I'm
women.
like. Was that the first
it.
time it had actually worked?
No, he had to have done it before.
Yeah.
Especially if he's like chatting with her after.
Right.
Like, and I'm sure he's given that offer and it has worked. And I'm sure he's given the offer and it hasn't worked.
But 3 hours? What do you do for 3 hours? 3 hours is a long time. For 700 euros? This was, what'd you say, 10 years ago? I don't know, man. I don't know. 10 minutes.
10 minutes, buddy.
That's all you get. That was such an amazing secret. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, if you have any like good study abroad stories, you know, weird shit happens over in Europe. I know a lot of people studied in Europe or wherever you went. I mean, I have a lot of weird stories. I think I've told you a lot of them, but
yeah, you've told
waking up in alleyways at like 3 a.m. I'm pretty sure I was like date rape drug.
You said you were drugged one.
Yeah,
I
was drugged.
Were drugged one time. Yeah.
And that was wild. That was a really, really crazy experience. But yeah, any good study abroad stories you have, make sure, or just any, you know, weird secrets you got. I love the stories, or anything you were told as a kid that you still believe now, or like just recently found out about, anything embarrassing. Make sure you call us into
Speak pipe.
pipe.
I'm trying to enunciate.
Yeah,
better.
I know. Everyone thought it was speed pipe. I had so many people that are like, I went to speed pipe, and it's like a porno site. Speakpipe.com/weird and proud pod. And again, you can leave us an anonymous voicemail up to 1 minute and 30 seconds. You literally press the link, hold down the button, and send it off. Not too much work on you guys. I know you guys are busy. And also don't forget to go to samantharamsdell.com/events for some live shows coming up. Got a lot of fun trips planned coming up soon. And we can't wait to meet some of you guys. Can't wait to see you. And also, of course, I get a lot of people that are like, when are you coming here? When are you coming there? Here's one of the things that I will ask of you guys to help me with is anywhere that like you want to see me. If there's like a club that you normally go to or like comedy clubs that you know of in that area, DM them or like reach out to them and be like, hey, I would love to see Sam Ramsdell up here shaking that thing. Because a lot of the times, like, it's like getting comedy clubs to know who I am and knowing that I have an audience really helps, especially, a lot of times, a lot of the places on the East Coast are big right now. Like I'm trying to do, would love to go back to maybe go back to Boston. I'm trying to get another Boston show on the books because I know that's a big area where I have a lot of audience. Also trying to do a show in LA. No, that's not the East Coast. Would love to do a show. We're also talking about Midwest too. So, just
if you help book a show with a DM, we'll come have lunch with you.
Yeah.
We'll buy you lunch.
Because a lot of the times too is just like knowing that there's natural excitement for people to want to see me, because a lot of times when I'm reaching out, like a lot of these clubs just like see my social media and obviously like have clips and stuff to send them, but right off the bat they're like, oh, it's this TikToker who's like trying to make it in the world, like, yeah. So it just helps if like people are honestly like reaching out and being like, I would love to see her, like put Sam on the show. And not again, a lot of this I'm doing all on my lonesome. I don't really have someone who's like booking stuff for me. I don't really have like a show or a tour manager. It's literally me like listening to you guys and saying like, I know I've been really meaning to do a Texas show. I'm really getting back to Maine. So it's me reaching out to like Googling like comedy clubs in Texas and then going through and like DMing these comedy clubs. That's literally what I do. So if you guys, can help put my name out, out there, if there's certain clubs you want to see me at, that really, really helps. Just get my name, so if I do message them or, eventually if I do hopefully get a team that can help reach out, they're like, oh yeah, we've had some people that have been asking about her, like we just got a DM about that. So that would be one thing that would really, really help me out. And I love you guys so much. We're so grateful for all the support and for the subscriptions and for all the listens. And the podcast is growing, which is so nice because we have been really trying to make this a premium experience for you guys, both visually and of course being able to listen too. So, but if there's anything, if you guys ever have any feedback or if there's anything, I know a lot of people, again, were asking for show recaps, like love when we give show recommendations. So if there's anything that you like, don't like, let us know. DM, you can always DM on Instagram, Weird and Proud Pod on Instagram. Make sure you're following that too for updates and clips. And we love you weirdos so much. Thank you again for all the support. James, any last final words?
I'm glad I wore my cat shirt.
Yeah,
real formal today.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, exactly. We're always formal on here. All right, you guys have an amazing week. We love you so much.
You guys are the best. Thank you for listening.
Bye, weirdos. Love ya.